how did a station manager become a commissioner of Bernalillo County?
Well, you know, I actually worked in radio in Santa Fe at an AM station, and it was a top 40 station. But one of the things we did to meet our public affairs obligation was we broadcast city council meetings in the city of Santa Fe. And they sent me out to do the technical work when we covered the meetings. So I got an interest in local government, and always thought, you know, at some point I'd like to run for office. And actually that's how it started.
Really? So it was just your fascination with what was going on?
Yeah, I became interested in particular issues and land use issues that were going on, and thought, you know, I think I'd like to do that, and I think I could do a good job at it, and so that's how it happened.
Now, I've been told that you're like an actual like metalhead.
You know, actually,
yes. My producers actually,
you know, actually,
they lie to me.
Well, tell me who your favorite group is, and I'll tell you who my favorite. Well, metal group. Give me your metal group.
My favorite group is Metallica and
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman.
Very good. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would have said AC/DC. The Back in Black album would be a good choice.
Well, every metalhead, that's like in a gold frame.
There you go. It's sort of your standard album. But I like some of the earlier, the TNT stuff that AC/DC did.
TNT.
I'm Dynamite.
There you go.
You remember that one. Okay.
Dirty Deeds Done
Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap.
There you go.
Great choice. What a classic. Okay. Truly one of my favorites.
I was a huge metal fan because I boxed and I lifted weights, and that was like the best music to get you riled.
Ronnie James Dio.
Ronnie James Dio. That's right. This is like, I feel like I'm on like, we're going down memory lane here.
You're unbelievable, man. I can't believe you listen to this stuff. Aren't you too old to be listening to this?
Oh, what do you say?
Just kidding.
I can't even like threaten him because he's like the county commissioner. But
all right.
No, but getting back to you're a county commissioner here.
That's right.
And that's pretty awesome to be able to take, because like you're actually in the workforce, and you know many commissioners and many people in government have always kind of been in government, and now you know I'm seeing a changing of the guard somewhat, where there's more entrepreneurial and more leaders in the community.
Well, a little bit. Now I've been in commercial radio and done a lot of commercial radio, but KANW is a public station. So while we rely on listener contributions to pay for part of what we do, we also do get some federal money. So yeah, it's licensed to a public school, so I'm a government worker in that sense, but I'm required to raise money and do entrepreneurial things to
and you have to raise funds. You got to budget stuff. You have a workforce. I'm hoping, because you're not doing everything yourself.
You know what? We have 4 full-time people, and I'm guessing, you know, probably 35 volunteers. So the station operates with an awful lot of volunteers. The station's sort of interesting. It's the first FM station in New Mexico, which in New Mexico, you're from somewhere else, judging by how you sound.
Nice.
And I meant
that. I live in Albuquerque. I love Albuquerque.
And I meant that in a good way, but I noticed that you don't speak English. That you do seem to speak New York, which is fine.
Which is a lot different than actual English.
And yes,
I'm going to give you.
I hope this interview gets lost somewhere.
They're actually making copies as we speak so that it doesn't get lost.
I'm obviously kidding, but the station started in 1950. What the FCC did is long about 1949, they said, let's have some channels for non-commercial broadcasting. And so they said, let's reserve everything below 92 as for non-commercial in the United States. And so immediately, the Albuquerque Public Schools filed to build a radio station. It went on the air. It operated and provided classroom instructional stuff in the same way that WNYE in New York did, that kind of thing.
Right.
And eventually the station started looking to serve the general needs of the community, not just the instructional needs, the general educational needs, and to provide some entertainment. And so along about the time disco music started up, KANW was Disco 89 and playing
Disco 89.
mighty fine Disco 89.
Because you weren't spinning the records.
I actually, yeah, of course. And now
with your spandex
and now the Gap Band. She's a
dropped a bomb on me.
Dropped a bomb on me, or she's a brick house.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we were part of it all. So
a Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah, Gloria, never can say goodbye. So we did disco for a while, and then eventually the station started doing New Mexico Spanish music, and became an NPR affiliate. And so while we do some other things, we have a country program and a classical music program, but we do a lot of local Spanish music with New Mexico music artists, and it's done very well. And it provides an important service in the community. There are probably 100 stations, but what we're doing isn't available anywhere else. So
what are you doing in the community with the radio station, and how does your job as a commissioner benefit from that?
Well, I guess one of the things is that on a regular basis we get out in the community to ascertain what do you think are some of the problems? What do you think are some of the needs in the community? How can we better serve the community? And so we'll sit down and find out from some general ascertainment of what the problems and the needs are, and then try and develop responsive programming. Maybe the need is for health care, and so we'll have a series on where you can go to get better health care information, maybe some health care tips. So that's the kind of thing that the station has to, while we're playing music, it has to be relevant to the community and respond to the problems and needs of the community. And so we work pretty hard at that. It's a very good question, but it's the function of radio stations is to address, to respond to the needs of the community and to be operating in the public interest.
So what is your favorite thing about being a commissioner for the GAD?
You know, my favorite thing, I think, is probably not sitting downtown, but getting out into the community and meeting with people. I really enjoy it. I like neighborhood meetings. The task is difficult. There's so much to do, so little time to do it. The more you do, the more behind you get, but I like that.
Well, and don't you feel, though, when you're faced with difficult tasks, it just makes you a better person?
Well, I think it does, and often I think it makes the community stronger. If they can all get together and work together. When you put together a deal, what do you do? The best deals that are put together are where all the parties come together and they try and get the best deal they can for all the parties concerned. And when you see that happen, not only does the county commission get stronger, but the community gets stronger. We're growing together, we're working together, and trying to make it a better world.
In the community, just, it gets to be really, really overflowing, and I love to see people like yourself that embrace that, because you don't find too many so-called government people that embrace entrepreneurship, embrace creativity, embrace initiative. They just want to keep their job sometimes.
Well, I have to tell you that I've been impressed with the government employees we have, and with the elected officials as well. I think that it's a good group, and one of the reasons why it's a good group is I think they're spending more time listening to the people in the community. And as a result of that, I think what you're seeing is that people in the community are becoming much more actively engaged in government. They're more aware of what they can and cannot do. And so you have active, constructive participation in government, and that's a pretty good thing.
And that's a good point, because when you have active participation, everything gets better.
I really believe it. I really do.
And I do too.
It's not easy, because you have people who disagree with you, and you've got to sort of, as a community, you need to sit and work through issues. But I think having everybody First of all, communicating with them so they're aware of what's going on in the community, listening to them so they're not just hearing from us, but we're hearing from them. I think all those things are important pieces in government.
Well, and dialogue in general, you know, real dialogue is listening and talking. You know, and that's pretty cool.
That's absolutely right. That and lower taxes, lower or no taxes.
And and you got it from Michael Brasher, a radio manager and county commissioner, one of the people leading the charge to making a Bernalillo County and Albuquerque an awesome place to be. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Good job.